For nothing is secret that will not be revealed, nor anything hidden that will not be known and come to light. Therefore, whatever you have spoken in the dark will be heard in the light, and what you have spoken in the ear in the inner rooms will be proclaimed on the housetops. Ah, the Patriots. I come to you heavy-hearted this morning because of the shape of our country. I do love all the Patriots, and I am very proud of each and every one of you. We have gone through a journey together that we will never forget in the near future. We can never let this happen again. Now, what I am about to show you should not shock you at this point. We have done all the training and we have paid attention. Let's take a look really quickly at a glimpse of what is happening right at this very moment. Remember their symbolism. Take a look in the background, take a look in the foreground, pictures behind them, the colors of clothes they're wearing, and just the general demeanor. This one isn't new of Tom, but relevant.
Everybody at Spade, woohoo! It's so weird without tons of applause and standing O's. I'm live from the Lights Out bunker. We're gonna try to do stuff from my house. It's not super live, but together where they put pins, I don't even know what happens. But it sucks and she's laying down, so my brother gives me updates. He always wants me to call him. So now it's all Kanye, he's all caps all the time. He's like, call me right now. But of course it's my mom, so I call him, but it's never anything. I mean, this all rides on Tom Hanks. Let's be honest, Tom Hanks, national treasure. I love him, we did SNL together. He's a fucking stud. But he's down in Australia like Quentin Quarantino, and I don't like the fact that he's not in the box. Forget Willow Smith. Let's get Tom Hanks in a clear box and watch him. Because if Tom Hanks pulls through, we are gonna be so stoked. It's all riding on Tom Hanks, you guys. If anything happens to Tom Hanks, fuck, that shit's over, dude. I'm just gonna be like, ch-ch on my roof. Bye.
Use all your training and listen. These people are losing it. These are codes put out to their other people. Here's this loud mouthpiece. Look at the picture behind him. Interesting.
Now, and they from us. Trump, meanwhile, has a catchy little nickname for the coronavirus. He now calls it the Chinese virus every chance he gets. Because, they say a great way to prevent a virus from spreading is to name it something racist. That way people keep it on the down low. I don't know why he does this. Actually, I do know why he does this. It's to deflect blame away from him. It's like when he started calling Eric and Don Jr. the Ivana kids. Right now, we are basically living.
Russia collusion. How do you think Russia feels there, Jimmy? Yeah, this is interesting indeed. Notice her color of outfit.
And just basically everybody, because it's the safe thing to do. And so I nominate Michelle Obama, Jen Aniston, Courtney Cox, Bruno Mars, Leo DiCaprio, and The Weeknd.
Hanks and his wife, have you heard? I heard.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is out of the hospital.
Nice.
Which I heard a rumor today from a showbiz insider, Mary.
Yeah?
That Tom Hanks never really had the coronavirus. That Tom Hanks' name is about to come out in a very ugly way.
What?
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I don't know if it's true, and if I go through any other details, I'll get sued.
I wash my hands.
But I was told by a very knowledgeable showbiz source, very knowledgeable.
Interesting.
That the rumor is in big-time showbiz circles that Tom Hanks actually made this up because his name could be popping out in a very ugly showbiz scandal. That's all I'm going to say. But I don't know if it's true. I know. And see, here's the other thing. Everybody ought to feel better because if Tom Hanks had the coronavirus and now Tom Hanks is better, then everybody ought to be excited about that because he's Tom Hanks. Everybody loves Tom Hanks.
Right.
I've never heard one person say, man, that Tom Hanks is a horrible guy. He's mean, he's rude, he's nasty.
Never.
Never heard it ever.
Right.
Never.
Right.
Now, if what I heard today in a rumor is true, that perception could change.
Oh.
But I don't know. See, look at you, Mary. You're already.
Right.
Mary is almost about to cry.
Right, I couldn't take it. That's enough.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that happens.
I'm going to go wash my hands.
By the way,
Hey guys, I'm really stressed out right now. It's been coming to my attention that a lot of Trump supporters have been figuring out the truth about me and my family, you know, being in the, you know what I'm talking about? And I don't know what to do right now because everything's starting to come to light. I mean, these extremely reliable websites like 4chan, 8chan have been exposing shit. And it's like if somebody wrote it on the internet, you know it must be true. And it is true. So it's like, I don't know how this is going to affect our whole New World agenda. Ever since The Simpsons predicted my dad being the spokesperson for the coronavirus, even though they didn't predict anything, it's been troublesome, to say the least. I guess I'm just going to have to work extra hard at my human sacrifices. I'm late for one right now, and I'm a little hungry, so I might eat someone's pineal gland on the way. But just know that we're watching you, and if you're talking shit on the internet, you're going to be the first people sent to the FEMA camps. So,
a young one who thinks a sarcasm will work. We've seen it before, buddy.
Come on, go. Let's go eat some fried fish. Fried fish. Come on, road, I can go. Let's go eat some fried fish. Fried fish. 'Cause there's no more pasta. Oh no. We're gonna eat some fried fish. Fried fish. Yeah.
Need I say any more? I am sorry for putting you through that last bit. Okay, and there is a new bonus clip video at the end of this. There was one new cue drop, and it just went to a music video, but the title of the music video had a hidden kind of link on the picture of the video. So that led to two videos. One is a trailer, and then one is a full, little video. So I'll put both of those at the end here. And again, I am Michael. This is the Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed to each and every one of you worldwide. And where we go one, we go all.
According to the NTSB theory of what happened the night John Kennedy Jr. died, a skilled and careful pilot flying an aircraft with sophisticated autopilot and other advanced safety features for no apparent reason suddenly dropped like a stone out of clear skies and into the waters off the west coast of Martha's Vineyard. The NTSB radar report of the crash makes this look like either an explosion or a suicide, doesn't it? But the wreckage was found in a concentrated area and showed no signs at all of explosion. Did John decide to commit suicide by murdering his wife and sister-in-law in his mother's front yard the day before his cousin's wedding? Well, you be the judge. At 11:30 the next morning, in a detailed and absolutely accurate report, the official Coast Guard information officer, Todd Burgun, told ABC's affiliate station in Boston that Kennedy had contacted the Martha's Vineyard Tower at 9:39 the night before, telling them that he was on final approach 19 miles off the coast of Martha's Vineyard.
It was at 9:39 p.m. and it was with the FAA, and it was on its final approach to Martha's Vineyard.
So at 9:39, to the best of your information, JFK Jr. made a contact with the airport, with the flight controllers, the air traffic controllers at Martha's Vineyard Airport, that he was on a final descent.
That is correct.
At 9:39.
The detailed NTSB radar analysis of the flight shows that at 9:38 and 50 seconds, the plane was indeed on final approach 19 miles off the coast of Martha's Vineyard and holding at 2,500 feet. FAA regulations require that aircraft on final approach hold at 2,500 feet and contact the tower before descending further. So, Burgun's report of radio contact is absolutely credible, entirely corroborated by the NTSB radar analysis. But 2 hours after Burgun's news report of contact with the tower, at 1:30 p.m., the Pentagon took over the reporting of the news. They silenced Burgun and began spreading a whole grip of really obvious lies, including the lie that John Kennedy did not contact the tower. Why? It's not so hard to figure out. You see, if the Pentagon had allowed the news of the tower contact to get out, it would have allowed the search and rescue craft to focus their search on the crash area. This is clearly something the Pentagon was trying to avoid. You see, ABC also reported that John's emergency locator beacon went off and was received by the Air Force satellites. This means the Air Force knew the exact location of the crash the instant it occurred. According to the New York Times, the FAA's radar analysis showing the crash location was available at 5 a.m. This radar analysis is called an NTAP. It showed the plane went down 19 miles off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. But this information was withheld from the rescue craft, and they were kept searching the entire flight path until after 1 p.m.
We'll continue on the same track that we're on, which is to search the entire area. We have nothing that absolutely pinpoints one area as opposed to another, so we can't rule out the entire flight.
Clearly, they were trying to keep the search and rescue craft out of the area. And this is certainly not the only evidence of criminal conspiracy in John Kennedy Jr.'s death. From 10 p.m. until 2 a.m., several people, including Senator Kennedy, tried unsuccessfully to get the FAA to begin a search. It wasn't until Ted Kennedy called the White House at 6:30 a.m. that a search was finally begun. But again, the planes were spread out all over the East Coast and kept away from the crash area until after 1 p.m. And again, why? Well, when you come up with a better answer, please let me know. After 6 years of asking, this is my answer. What seems very clear is that there was a flight instructor on that plane. Kennedy always flew with a flight instructor. Always. He told his closest friends that he was going to fly with one that night. And when the Kennedy family finally, at 2 a.m., gave up on calling the FAA and instead reported the plane missing to the Coast Guard, it was these family members who told the Coast Guard that there was a flight instructor on board the plane. But around 1:30 in the afternoon, at the same time that the Pentagon began taking over the story, at the same time that they began telling all these lies, the completely unsubstantiated report went out that there was in fact no flight instructor on the plane. Now, there were no witnesses to the plane's takeoff. There was and is absolutely no basis for this report of no flight instructor. And yet all the media immediately accepted this story. Someone on that plane committed suicide. We know because the fuel valve was found in the off position. We know that turning off the fuel valve is the mark of a suicide because 100 days later and 50 miles away, another suicidal pilot on Egypt Air 990 also pushed his plane into the sea, killing 100 of Egypt's top military officers after turning off the fuel valve. The suicidal flight instructor on John's plane and the suicidal pilot on Egypt Air 990 were both Manchurian candidates, programmed to assassinate themselves and everyone on board their planes. The rescue craft were diverted from the crash area so that the body of the flight instructor could be recovered, apparently attached to one of the seats, which is also missing. A lieutenant from the Civil Air Patrol says he saw them out there. But who programmed these flight instructors? Who diverted the rescue craft? And who told the Pentagon to tell all these ridiculous lies? The short answer is the same monsters who planned the attacks of September 11th. They decided,
the father kills the father, the son should kill the son.
They liked the poetry of it. But please notice that George W., whose father supervised the murder of John Kennedy Sr., George W. Bush, whose father made his bone with the oil mafia by killing the father. George W. Bush got on a bus at 10 o'clock in the morning of the day John Kennedy Jr. died and disappeared for 3 days. His staff was unable to say where he was, what he was doing, or even when he would be back. Please, get this video, send it to your congressperson, to your city council person, to any honest law enforcement people you know. Show it to your best friend, to your children, to your mama. People teaching each other. This is how history is made. Please, be a part of history in the making.